Okay, for 125, they want us to solve 4 quadratics. Okay, so the first one, using quadratic formula. So this is A, right? So A is 3, B is 4, C is -7, and it's x equals -b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. So we'll substitute in now. X equals -4 plus or minus 4 squared minus 4 times a, which is 3, times c, which is -7, right? That's a minus, all over 2 times 3. So we get -4 plus or minus 16 plus, right? 4 times 3 is 12, times 7 is 84. 4 plus 84 over 6. So x equals -4 plus or minus root 100 over 6. So x equals -4 plus or minus 10 over 6. So first, x equals -4 plus 10 over 6. So x comes out to be -4 plus 10, 6 over 1. And then the other one, x equals -4 minus 10 over 6. X equals -14/6, which is -7/3. So -7/3 and 1. Okay, that's A. So B, factoring. Let's make some space. So B, we have to factor x squared minus 3x minus 18. So what times what is -18 added is -3? Well, that would be -6 and +3. If I add them, I get -3. If I multiply them, I get -18. So it factors to x minus 6 times x plus 3 equals 0. So either x minus 6 is 0 or x plus 3 is 0. The zero product property tells us that. So x is 6 or x is -3. -3 and 6. Okay, so that was factoring. Completing the square, next one, C. So C, we have x squared plus 4x. Again, first step is get your constant over to the right. Second step, take half the middle term, which is 2, and square it and add it to both sides. So x squared plus 4x plus 4 equals -1 plus 4. This factors to x plus 2 squared equals 3. Take the square root of both sides. X plus 2 equals plus or minus root 3. And subtract 2 from both sides. And we get -2 plus or minus root 3. And the last one, they want us to graph. Okay, so let's clear this. And D, we want to graph. So the x, the symmetry, is -b over 2a, right? So we get -5 over 2 times 2, which is -5/4. Okay, not a beautiful one. Okay, so that's 1, 2, so that's 1 1/4, right? So that's about there. And then we substitute -5/4 in, right? This is x, y. Substitute -5/4 in and solve for y. So y equals, y equals 2 times -5/4 squared plus 5 times -5/4 minus 12. Okay, I'm kind of going into my graph there, but okay. So y equals 2 times 25/16 minus 25/4 minus 12. Y equals 25/8, right? Minus, and I'm going to make 25/4, so I'm going to make that into eighths, right? So 50/8. And then I'm going to make the 12 into eighths, so that's 96/8. So y equals 25 minus 50 is negative 25 minus 96. So again, I'm just going to come up here, 96, 25, 11 is 121, right? 121. 121 eighths. Okay, so this should be negative, right? Okay, so 121 eighths. This is a ridiculous problem to ask you to graph. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I can't imagine that this is reasonable to graph. But let's do it. Okay, so we have successfully found the vertex. Okay, now I'm unfortunately going to need to make some space, so let's clear out our work to find the vertex, right? So we can find some other points. And again, to me, if you're going to graph a parabola, you have to find the vertex and axis symmetry. So, you know, just because it has nice roots, which hopefully this does, that's going to pass through the axis, doesn't mean you should ever skip finding the vertex and axis symmetry. So now let's find some points. So I'm going to put a negative 1 in, right? Because I want to know what it equals with negative 1. So y equals 2 times negative 1 squared plus 5 times negative 1 minus 12. Y equals negative 1 squared is 1, 2 minus 5 minus 12. Y equals negative 15. So there's a point, negative 1, negative 15, right? Which is not super helpful, right? Okay, which is here. Now let's put 0 in. So we can fit it right here, right? Put a 0 in. So y equals negative 12. So 0, negative 12, right? 15, 14, 15. Oh, this should have been here, right? 15, 14, 13, 12. Okay. Getting there. Let's put a 1 in. Okay. Let me make some space over here again, right? Okay. And we want to put a 1 in. Y equals 2 times 1 squared plus 5 times 1 minus 12. Y equals 2 plus 5 minus 12. Y equals 7 minus 12. Negative 5. So 1, negative 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's here. Let's put a 2 in. So let's clear space again. Again, this is not a problem that I would ever consider giving you for graphing. This is utterly ridiculous, but, you know, it does show that we know how to graph, right? 2 times 2 squared plus 5 times 2 minus 12. Y equals 8 plus 10 minus 12. Y equals 8 is 6. Oh, okay, so we passed the intercept to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's here. So now we know the shape, right? It goes like this. Right? And then on the other side goes the same, right? And here, and here, and here, right? So clearly our graph is off, right? Whoa, that was bad. Okay, goes here. Okay, so look, if you're not on graph paper, you're not going to see these intercepts. This is supposed to be at 1.5, right? And this one is supposed to be at negative 4, right? That's where it's supposed to be. But, you know, you need to be doing this on graph paper and graphing accurately. But the points they're giving you for these, utterly ridiculous to solve this by graphing. You know, I would never recommend using graphing to solve this equation. However, we did, so we finished.